News. What the hell is going on with Subnautica 2 from Engadget? As Subnautica 2's ugly $250 million lawsuit debate rambles on, its new CEO hits back something. Crafton decided to go nuclear. Unknown Worlds founders claim Subnautica something. Okay. I think the Engadget article answers the question that I was asking. What is going on? Not really sure. Okay, just first of all, I just seen the screenshot and it looks amazing. I really would like to play that game. I don't think you can call this investigative journalism. This is reading journalism to learn to become informed. I suspect it'll be Doom before you get it fully working on with Twitch. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, so to talk about this very specifically without talking about what I'm talking about, I just want to get integration to OBS working, and then I'll basically be able to rip all of the functionality out. I think there's like YouTube integration actually, and then I'll be able to rip all the functionality out and replicate it. I don't think I need anything else. So it's like OBS and that, and then I guess Discord. So Discord as well, but yeah, that's it. That's the bare minimum I need, and then I just need to work on the dispatcher and get that working cleanly. And there's also like a DSL. I need to create like an AST or a DSL of some kind that I can configure so that I can get it to work. Yeah, no email. I don't need that. Although it would be too hard to add. I'm not going to do that. Publisher versus dev versus publishers. Usually I side with devs, but I'm not sure this time. Yeah, I've not read anything. From what I understand though, like I don't know, man. We'll see. Let's find out. Board Game Heaven, g'day, good to see you. Cryptically, I talked to my wife, Board Game Heaven, and I don't have a final answer just yet, so hence no replies. But I'm gonna follow up again tomorrow. So yeah, let's look into this. What the hell is going on with Subnautica 2? The hotly anticipated sequel is now subject of a multi-million-dollar legal battle. $250 million involved from the other headline we read. This looks good though. Like, this looks really cool. What I care about is the gameplay good, and is the is the engine stable and stuff like that. Like, does it work well? Those are two things I care about. The third thing I care about is, did the people who worked on this game and put their like heart and soul into it, did they get taken care of? I don't really care who owns the IP. I mean, I do. Like, if it was me, I would care. But that's not my concern, right? So if this is like the creators sold the rights to the game and now they're upset that they're not getting a slice of the new pie, don't care. That's their problem. They should have done a better job. That's not true. That's too cold-hearted for me. I don't think I could even say that. Yeah, no, maybe I side with the developers. Let's find out. Let's see what this article tells us. How long is this article, by the way? It's probably too long for me to read the entire thing. Yeah, okay, it stops here. All right, that's not too bad. All right, let's just read the intro and see if that helps us understand the situation. I need to install like a plugin to make it so I can just put this into like an easier to read mode. Why when I zoom in does it stay narrow and to the left? I don't want that. That's not what I want. Whatever. I'm not going to deal with that problem right now. If I had to describe the status of Subnautica 2 in just 3 words, it would be these. Messy, messy, messy. That was not helpful, thank you. That's not to say the game itself is in a terrible shape. This is actually a pivotal claim in the whole situation. But the relationship between Subnautica series developer Unknown Worlds and its parent company, Crafton, so it's a parent company and not a publisher, okay? So they bought Unknown Worlds, is in shreds. This month alone, Crafton fired the founders and CEO of Unknown Worlds, that's not usually a good sign, Subnautica 2 was delayed until 2026. Okay, delays happen. And the ousted leaders filed a lawsuit against Krafton, looking to regain creative control of the game and the studio. At the center of the conflict is a bonus payment worth up to $250 million. What? This just creates more questions for me. Don't go full pirate software. I don't even know. Like, yeah, no. No comment. Contract for bonus $250 million based on sales in 2025 for the devs. Then publisher pushed the release to 2026 and fired them. Oh, okay. That detail that you just dropped, Too Dope, is not in this paragraph. If that's the case, yeah, screw Krafton. Basically, that's horrible. Here's a rundown of how we got here and what in the devil is going on with Subnautica 2. You just told me, okay, this is just going to critique the writing here. They told me they were going to describe it, the situation. Then they didn't. Then they didn't say anything useful. And now they're like, okay, now I'm going to tell you again. The title of the article is "What the hell is going on?" This paragraph should have been the summary that told me what the hell was going on, and it just told me it just made more questions. Now they're saying they're going to break it down. Okay, great. Charlie Cleveland accidentally started Unknown Worlds in 2001 while building the popular Half-Life mods Natural Selection 2. And technical director Max McGuire came on as an official studio co-founder in 2006. Inspired by Minecraft and burned out on mods, Unknown Worlds began working on the undersea open-world exploration game Subnautica and released it in early access on Steam in 2014. With years of community feedback, the game evolved into a singularly tense and rich survival experience, and version 1.0 officially landed in 2018. This is also when Ted Gill, ironic name, joined the studio's executive team, freeing up Cleveland to focus on creative direction. Subnautica and its spin-off Subnautica Below Zero attracted millions of players and established Unknown Worlds as a successful independent team. So the larger studios came sniffing. PUBG publisher Krafton, okay, which operates with billions of dollars annually. Holy crap. Purchased Unknown Worlds in 2021 for $500 million. The acquisition came with the promise of an additional payout worth up to $250 million if Unknown Worlds hit certain performance goals by the end of 2025. This bonus is a critical piece of the chaos today. I see where this is going now, especially with the help of Too Dope earlier. To be fair, Krafton is also a publisher. Right, okay. They own the company, so it makes it a little different. They bought them. So what I said, I would feel more cool-hearted about. I actually don't feel cool-hearted, even though I said I would. I don't. I mean, I think that the Unknown Worlds people maybe made a mistake taking this deal. There was possibly a better deal that they could have asked for. I don't know. I don't know what other properties Krafton own, but if it's just PUBG, I don't think they're going to be making the billions of dollars annually. So I assume they own more, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe PUBG is still raking in the money. G'day, Cortube. This article is probably AI generated. Drop this into the Is This AI website. I don't know what that is, and I'm not going to. It does have an author attached with it, so unless this person is an AI or a liar, which both things are possible these days, I guess. Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah. We know more about the details of this deal thanks to recent reporting by Bloomberg. In addition to the leadership positions, which were filled by Cleveland Gill McGuire, Unknown Worlds had about 40 employees at the time of Krafton's sale. They received payouts totaling 50 million at closing, and over the following 2 years, this larger group was poised to receive as much as 25 million in 2025 performance-based earnout. I saw a 250 million right here, and this is 25, and now I'm wondering if this is a typo. Oh no, here we go. Remaining. Yeah, okay, cool. With each person expecting a different amount. The most estimating 6 or 7 figures. Okay. The remaining 225 million was reserved for the Unknown Worlds leadership. But they said they intend to share a portion of the windfall with employees who weren't included in the bonus, covering the full studio headcount of about 100 people. They went from 40 people to 100 people in like in the same paragraph, so I'm a little confused. Leadership of Unknown Worlds repeated this promise in a lawsuit filed against Crafton on July 10 by 2025. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Okay. After the acquisition, Unknown Worlds continued updating Subnautica and Below Zero. In February 2024, the studio released Moonbreaker, a turn-based strategy game that never really took off, partially because of its initial microtransaction system. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's 2025. Are you really going to do that? Since then, the studio has been focused on Subnautica 2. The game was officially announced in October 2024 with a prospective early access launch window of 2025. It's currently the second most wishlisted game on Steam after Hollow Knight Silk Song. Okay. I'm just trying to absorb this paragraph. I have no idea why the leadership at Unknown Worlds would release whatever Moonbreaker is. I mean, it looks kind of crap just from this image right here. I don't know what it is, but that image just tells me it. I don't think I would like it. This image tells me I don't like it. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that game, but they should not have done that. Why would you work on Moonbreaker when you had a clear winner already ready to go? They should have just focused on this fully. Anyway. Currently the second most wishlisted game, whatever. First public notion that something was rotten between Unknown Worlds and Crafton came July 2, when Cleveland, Gil McGuire were fired and replaced by former Callisto Protocol studio head Steve Papautsis. Crafton didn't provide a reason for the switch up in its press release, instead offering the following nearly complete thought. While Crafton sought to keep the Unknown Worlds co-founders and original creators of the Subnautica series involved in the game's development, the company wishes them well on their next endeavors. So what I think, what it sounds like happened is that there was some discussion saying, hey, you guys made us do this, probably, I suspect, but we really wanted to do this, Subnautica 2, and now we're not gonna meet the deadline. And we're not gonna, and you've basically managed us away from earning our $250 million. That's what I'm reading between these lines. That's speculation purely, but you know. Crafton didn't mention delaying the early access launch at this time. Of course they didn't. They wouldn't want those two things to be associated in the same article, same press release. But it implemented a review process that said it would be essential to delivering the right game at the right time. Publishers suggested the ousted leaders had been uncooperative in this aspect. Yeah, so Crafton's like, no, you can't release game this year. It's not good enough. You spent too much time on the other games. We can't put this out to early access. And Unknown Worlds like, no, we did that the first time and it worked really well and it built a big audience for the game. We should do it again. Crafton are like, no, can't do it. They fought, they get ousted. Probably that's what happened. Basically, Crafton thought the management at Unknown Worlds was crap and fired them. No, I think that's what they want you to think. Hey, Matt Glad, good to see you, man. I wonder if Crafton made them work on Moonbreaker. That's what I think. That's my suspicion. And I bet you it was their idea to put microtransactions in it as well. Because PUBG has microtransactions, right? You can buy loot crates or whatever. That's how they know how to make money. PUBG used to be great. I played it when it was like popular, and then I haven't given it a second thought for a long time. Anyway. So the new leadership fully supports the process and is committed to meeting player expectations, because they're going to get a $50 million bonus, which will save Crafton $200 million, right? Cleveland published a post on July 4 reflecting on his time in the game development and sharing his... I just made that up. There's no mention of $50 million bonus for not publishing this year, just so we're clear. I just made that up. It's all fabricated. He also referenced Crafton's intent to delay the launch. Yeah, of course he did. Yeah, exactly. You can see why, for Max, Ted, myself, and the Unknown Worlds team, and for our community, the events of this week have been quite a shock, Cleveland wrote. I mean, I could go read the blog post directly, but it's going to be one-sided. Yeah. We know that the game is ready for early access release, and we know you're ready to play it. And while we thought this was going to be our decision to make, at least for now, the decision that is in Crafton's hand after all these years to find that I'm no longer able to work at the company I started stings. So this is like, you know, founder creates company goes well, founder wants to continue working company, but also has opportunity to make $500 million for the company, so he does that by selling the company. Now they're doing very well, but you know, things start happening outside of their control, and then they find out, wait, I have no power here. So that sucks. I don't know, like, they might be able to there may be a case for the issue at hand, which is they managed us away from releasing the game this year, and now we can't meet the terms of the contract that would allow us to have an additional $250 million. And maybe early stages of negotiations, they were asking for more money from Crafton, and this was Crafton's way of getting them to sign the deal, and they just didn't have a clause in there that allowed them to, like, stay on, or, you know, golden parachute that they get $250 million if they're fired before the end of that term, you know, something like that. On July 9, Crafton officially delayed the early access launch of Subnautica 2 2026. Same day, Bloomberg published a report outlining the performance-based bonus agreement and implicitly questioning how the timing of the delay would make it difficult for the studio to hit its goals, putting the payout in jeopardy. This was the first time in the details of the bonus became public. So I guess what I want to know is, what are the terms? How much sales do they need to make? Will fans and supporters of Unknown Worlds founders decide to go and buy stuff in Moonbreaker so that they make enough money? I don't know. Probably not, I imagine. Crafton shared a statement with Engadget and in a pop-up on its own homepage on July 10. Straight up accused the fired leaders of abandoning the studio in favor of personal creative pursuits, specifically calling out Cleveland's film production company. It also threw shade at Moonbreaker and claimed the former bosses wanted the bonus payment for themselves. Isn't that what they signed on for? It does seem like a lot of mudslinging, Grognak. I don't think we're going to get to the bottom of it, but I am feeling a lot more informed. Crafton made multiple requests to Charlie and Max to resume their roles as game director and technical director respectively, but both declined to do so, the statement said. In particular, following failure of Moonbreaker, Crafton asked Charlie to devote himself to the development of Subnautica 2. However, instead of participating in the game development, he chose to focus on personal film project. Crafton believes that the absence of core leadership has resulted in repeated confusion in the direction and significant delays in the overall project schedule. The current early access version also falls short in terms of content volume. So I don't know if they had volume metrics that were required for something. Like that, who knows what the contract was like. This does sound pretty sus. The film project focus How true that is, I don't know. They could just be saying that, and maybe it's hard to prove one way or another. I don't know. But yeah, that is pretty sus. My favorite Christmas movie. So weird, though. Yeah, it is weird. Why would anyone expect the first EA version of early access version of Subnautica to have a lot of content? Nobody should. This is that part's BS. The volume thing is like weird. I don't know like what their sorry, there you go. I couldn't select the line. Yeah, I don't know what volume they're talking about. Like, is there an agreement that says like there has to be at least 20 square meters per developer or something? Like, I don't know what the volume is. What's the volume? I don't know. Is it length of time in gameplay? Because like it's an open world game, you just play it for hours on end anyway. You build stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they felt that there's some like intrinsic thing that's not being met, but I don't know if you can really blame. I don't know how you measure that. Anyway. The volume is a thing that Mandalorian and Grogu live in, I thought. Right. Yeah, you mean the soundstage? What do you call it? The background light thing? The screen? Whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. G'day, Strider. Good to see you. Gusak as well. Welcome. BNU, of course, welcome. MacLad, I think I already said welcome, but welcome again. Grizzly, hi. Don't think No Man's Sky solved the equation about time content. Yeah, No Man's Sky felt like an empty universe. Yeah, and I've never gone back to it. People have said, "Oh, it's better now." I don't trust it. Like, yeah, there was so much potential there. I think if they made No Man's Sky now with the use of like generative AI, they might actually stand a chance of making the world feel more populated by just having like NPCs out there that talk AI slop. But at least then there's something there, you know. Like, there was just nothing there in the entire game. They didn't craft a single thing. There was nothing to drive a narrative, and it didn't really feel like there was a purpose. Anyway, I don't know if the game's gotten any better. The work done on No Man's Sky has given me hope for their next game, Light No Fire. Interesting, okay. Same day, Cleveland announced that he and the other ousted studio heads had filed a lawsuit against Krafton, suing a multi-billion-dollar company in a painful, public, and possibly protracted way. It was certainly not on my bucket list, Cleveland wrote, but this needs to be made right. Subnautica has been my life's work. That's weird, bro. Go make another game. That's weird. And I would never willingly abandon it or the amazing team that has poured. You sold the company. You might not realize it, but you already abandoned it. You've already sold the company and the IP. That's when you abandoned it. If you were still there, that's great, but you've abandoned them. You've already done that, bro. As for the earnout, the idea that Max, Ted, and I wanted to keep it all for ourselves is totally untrue. I believe it, 100%. I believe that. I believe that. Subnautica is great. I love it. I was playing it today. Unrelated to this whole thing. I was playing it because my daughter realized that she wanted to play it, and she played it this week, or last week, whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, I should play it again. So I just started playing it again. Mike, what do you make of a game like Cyberpunk 2077 and City Project Red? That's a whole other question. That is what I have been saying about Starfield. It should have been Todd's last game before his retirement, but at that time, the AI would have been advanced enough to create solo campaigns in each planet you visit. I think if they did something really specifically well crafted and controlled, that was manipulating like assets and like story building blocks that were like more well crafted, and like they tweaked that and tuned that with some generative AI stuff, maybe that could have done something good. But I don't know. That whole thing is like really not well explored yet, I don't think. Like the term AI slop exists for a reason. If humans curate a rate at the slot, it can work. Yeah, possibly. That's not what we're here to learn about, though. Oh heck yeah, I played through 3 times now and still forget where to find materials, etc. Yeah, it's so fun though. I think I finished it maybe 3 or 4 times myself. So yeah, I think I'm either on my 4th or 5th playthrough, and I still enjoy it. Subnautica is a pretty great game. Doesn't have the kind of staying power that Minecraft has, at least for me, but yeah, very good game. Argument was that expecting an early access title to have a lot of content is weird and not really comparable to Payday. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Anyway, let's read more of this. Yeah, sure. The lawsuit wasn't unsealed until July 16, but on 15, Bloomberg reported that Krafton now planned to extend the window for the bonus payment by an additional year, giving the studio more time to hit its goals. The publisher will also reportedly advance a portion of the separate profit-sharing bonus pool to all Unknown Worlds employees in 2025. I didn't expect to read that paragraph. If that's true, that sounds like Krafton are actually trying to do the right thing. Maybe. It's very hard to say from the outside. I've literally, like I said, I literally have read nothing about this. So there's a lot of like, he said, they said, I said, whatever, going on here. I don't know. I think Krafton's statements saying that they weren't willing to work on the game is weird. Especially comparing it to this statement, which again, he might say that, but it's not really truthful. If you've sold the company and the IP, you have no control of it anymore. You have abandoned it. Even if you love it still, like, you chose money over that. You chose money over this statement. You can't have the money and this statement if you've sold it, right? Giving the studio more time to hit its goals. Right, okay, yeah. These moves seem to designed to moot the core issues raised in the breach of contract complaint that Cleveland and other Unknown Worlds leaders filed in again. Okay, so maybe that's the case. Maybe that's why Krafton did that. Sure. The lawsuit, unsealed on July 16, claims Krafton illegally fired the studio's heads and delayed Subnautica 2 in order to avoid bonus payments. It also provides a timeline of growing tensions between the founders and Krafton this year, accusing the publisher of intentional sabotage. We kind of read between the lines earlier that maybe there was some sabotage going on. So quite possibly they managed them away from delivering on the goals for 2025 and then fired them and tried to make them look bad in that way. And then maybe this whole public court case is like making them try and backpedal a little bit, legally speaking.
Wow.
I don't know.
Look at the
hey,
size of
good to see
those
you.
knockers.
You love intentional sabotage, Lassus? OTWD was a game very much released early in order to get money, and it was clearly not ready for public. OTWD. That's was that? No, that's nothing to do with Moonbreaker. I don't know what OTWD is short for. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure. Starbreeze is probably exactly the kind of company Krafton is comparing Unknown Worlds to. Mismanagement, failing projects, incomplete games. Overkill's The Walking Dead. Never even heard of it. Sorry, I'm playing too many old games to know of new games, I guess. I guess I gotta look that debacle up now. All right. A respectful relationship until April 2025, when Gill presented Krafton executives with the studio's positive revenue projections, which were made with the assumption that Subnautica 2 would hit early access in 2025. He also outlined the expected bonus payout under the agreement. When that happened, everything changed. Yeah, this sounds like that's exactly what I expected to hear from that side. From the Krafton side, I would expect them to not acknowledge this at all. But yeah, reading between the lines earlier, it feels that way, right? Complaint alleges that at this point, Krafton began looking for ways to force out leaders of Unknown Worlds and delay the launch of Subnautica 2, with the goal of circumventing the bonus payment. Cleveland, Gill, and Maguire argued back and forth with Krafton executives over whether the game was ready for early access. Who would know better? Like, would Krafton know better, or would the people who like did a really, really good job of doing early access release with their last game that made them what they are? Like, which one's right? who would know better? I don't know. To me, it feels like the Unknown Worlds team would know better about what's ready for early access and what's not. But, you know, whatever, Krafton. Eventually pulled all of its resources from the studio, Krafton issued a stop order on Subnautica 2 development, took over Unknown Worlds communications channels, and in June it started laying out an internal paper trail accusing the founders of abandoning their fiduciary duties, according to the complaint. Wow, that sounds really underhanded. Again, it's in the complaint, so of course they want to make them sound really underhanded. So, grain of salt, of course. Did you buy Dark Ages? No, I didn't. I haven't really gotten into the new Dooms. I played Doom 2016, and it was okay. It didn't really feel like Doom to me, so I didn't really continue with the series. Cleveland, Gill, Maguire were fired and removed from Unknown Worlds board of directors on July 1. This is where the rest of us entered the story, right? Felt the same, to be honest. It's a good game, but not Doom for me. Yeah. Individual devs putting their screen name in the title of their game is so cringy. Wait, where did this come from? Where did this come from, Dragonfax? What? Overkill's The Walking Dead. Wait, is Overkill the name of the person? Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I knew about Player Unknown is like the name of the dude. Sure, right. That's cringy. I'm totally gonna do that, Dragonfax. I'm gonna make a game, put Fractal Mind Mike's something. I'm gonna do it. We'll see how well it goes. All you do is melee in the Doom games? Yeah. Mike's Day of the Sandwich. Yeah, that'll work. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna complain about something else just for 1 second. I don't know why the Doom people made Doom Dark Ages instead of just going, let's get the freaking rights to Hexen or Heretic or whatever and make that instead. Just do like a modern take on Heretic. It probably won't be as good as the original because for reasons, but it'll be really cool and interesting in other ways. You know, they could have done that. It would give, like, there's more franchises out there than just the Doom franchise. That would have been awesome. It would have been awesome. It could have been awesome. Let's say it could have been awesome. It should have been awesome, and it could still be awesome. So hopefully they do it. They do have the rights to Hexen and Heretic now. Well, there you go. They should just freaking do that. Stop trying to cash in on Doom. Use some lessons learned from the Doom 2016 and on, and throw some of that knowledge at the Heretic franchise. Or, you know, come up with a new franchise. That might be a cool thing to do. The main conflict here is over whether Subnautica 2 is really ready.
Hold on, Dave!
Hey, Tonil, good to see you. is really ready for an early access launch, and that matters because of a potential $250 million bonus payment that is jeopardized by the delay. Not only is this a large sum for Krafton to lose, but it's also a massive amount of money for Cleveland, Gill, and Maguire to miss out on, especially now that they've lost their studio tentpole IP. They didn't lose it, they sold it. Let's not pretend they lost it. They got $500 million for selling the studio and the IP. This is a joke, right?
Oh boy, we're having fun now!
Hello there, Entropy. Kinikos. All firearms slow ready, that's right.
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages?
Sure, I'll take some sausage. The ousted leaders reiterated that in their lawsuit that they planned to share. So saying this and legally writing it down is two different things, but let's just agree that they are being honest. Plan to share even more of the amount with their dedicated team. So they already committed to sharing some of it, but now they're saying we're going to share even more. We don't know what the even more amount is. We don't know what the original amount was. That wasn't in this article. Maybe it's in like some other paper that we could go read. But sure, okay, great. It sounded to me like most people on the team already stood to make in the order of like millions from the sale of Subnautica 2 as part of this bonus structure. So for them to get a slice of the $250 million pie amongst 40 to 100 people, unclear how many, that's pretty good. Then they were contractually obligated to do. Right, so that $25 million slice of the pie, they were saying they would spread that even more out. I said million, and it was actually not in the order of millions. That was misspoken by me. In the order of 6 figures per person. Basically, is it 40 people or 100 people? Divide that into 25 million, and you got some number. I don't know. So yeah, less than $1 million, but they'd potentially be getting $1 million after this addition, or maybe it's closer to $1 million is a more fair statement. I don't know. In the complaint, they're looking for Krafton to pay out the full bonus as projected without a delay, fulfill its obligations as a publisher, and reinstate them as heads of Unknown Worlds. So basically they're saying, undo this and we will get back to work. We love the game. I hope that that's what happens, but it's unlikely, right? Like, I mean, everything's so public. I don't know if Krafton can afford to back down. I guess we'll see. Every party in this situation claims they want what's best for Subnautica 2 and its players. No, it's literally all about money. It's very clearly all about money. It's possible that they're all telling the truth, and this is a simple disagreement over artistic integrity. Artistic integrity did not come into this at all. Like, nothing that I read convinced me that there was any artistic integrity involved whatsoever. It's also possible they're all lying and everyone is looking to make or keep a quick buck. But man, that's bleak. The truth, as usual, likely lies somewhere between, and yeah, I agree with this. I agree with this sentiment in general. Mike gonna eat pizza? Abel says most likely. Not tonight, but maybe someday soon. I heard Heretic. I want more Heretic. I agree, Entropy. It'd be nice to see more Heretic. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out.
You can use a Gravis gamepad?
You can. You can always use a Gravis gamepad. It might not work well, but you can always use it. This article was helpful. I appreciate it. Thank you, Engadget. Thank you, JessCon96. Jessica Condit, or however you say that name. First of all, just want to say, Subnautica 2 screenshots look amazing. I want to play the game. I might just play Subnautica right now. I'm patient. I don't have to play the game this year. I don't have to play Subnautica 2 this year. But
yay!
I don't
know. Oh my gosh!
To be honest, like Subnautica 2, like the developers, like if I was in their situation, I think I would be fighting for that. I would be fighting for that financial windfall. Absolutely. But I think that they have to be a little bit more honest with themselves about their stake in the IP, which is to say they don't have one. They'll go down in history as the people who created the game, and that's great, but they gave it up, so they have to acknowledge that. This sentiment here is, I can't agree with that. Like, $500 million is a lot of money. I assume that they had to split that into the studio. Like, there's probably people who were founding people. They probably made promises to their staff as well. They probably fulfilled those. But $500 million is a lot of money. So that additional $250 million that they're trying to get out of this, great, good for them. It does sound like there might be something dodgy going on with the way Crafton dealt with the situation, and they are probably at fault. Like, I'd say the fulcrum tilts in their direction in terms of what triggered all of this. I guess the fulcrum doesn't, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it's kind of the burden. I think the burden lands on them a little bit more than it lands on the founders of Unknown Worlds. And I do hope that they get back on the team. It sounds like they want to, so I hope they get back on there and can continue to do the creative direction of the game, and it comes out and it continues to evolve in the right direction. It's a loss for everybody. Forget about the financials. It's a loss for everybody if those people are not at the helm on a game like this, because, you know, they've already gotten an entire game's worth of evolution and development behind them in that franchise. It makes complete sense to keep them on board.
Me to play the game? Shut up!
All right, I'll stop too, Dope. Fine.